Hey, today we're going to make some king crab that I got from Sam's Club, and they're on sale just recently, so it's a good time to go buy king crab. And this is frozen, but what I've done so far is I've done a really thorough job of cleaning the sink and cleaning my baking dish to make sure that there's no soap residue or anything that gets inside of the flavor of the crab. They give you these, I don't know what they call them. There's some kind of butter, scampi butter. I don't care for it, so we're not going to use it. But what I am going to do is wash in cold water. So these are solidly frozen, but we want to rinse them off. We don't want any kind of extra flavors there that we don't like. So just rinsing these off and put them inside of our baking dish. So get them nice and clean. You need a pretty good sized baking dish because these things are large. Just really need to rinse them off. You don't have to scrub them. In fact, if you try to scrub them, you're going to get cut by these really sharp spines that are on the king crab legs. But just rinse them off. Just like this. There we go. All rinsed off. And inside of our ham, this is just one package. So it's just for Karen and I tonight. So I don't need to get a whole lot, but that's enough for us. Now the next step is we're going to take some spray oil. You can use canola, it doesn't really matter. Just want to, and the only reason you oil them is so that you can get the seasonings to stick. And flip them over, do both sides. Don't worry about the little bit of water that's on the bottom. So we got them oiled up. Now we're going to sprinkle Old Bay, seasoning over the top of them. I don't measure anything, I just cover them with Old Bay. Flip them over. And more Old Bay. I like to get these end pieces really well. Okay. And then a little bit of garlic powder. Flip them over. And more garlic powder. And they take little chunks of butter, and I like to put it especially on these ends, right down here. on the legs. Yeah, it's going to melt all down into the pan, but that's going to be what we use to dip our meat in, or the crab meat. So we want that to just melt down. And then we have a nice dip to be able to, an Old Bay and garlic powder dip. You don't have to get real complicated here, just get that butter so when it melts down, it'll go into the crab. A little bit more over here. That's it. Okay, I'm going to want to cover that with some aluminum foil. But first I'm going to wash my hands and then take a sheet of aluminum foil. And cover that up nice and tight because we want to trap the steam inside. So we're going to get the nice juices from the crab mixed with that butter, mixed with that Old Bay and garlic powder. So this then is going to go into the oven at 350. It depends how long should it be? Depends on how thawed out your crab is. If it's solid frozen, you might go about 20 minutes. If it's thawed out, maybe 10, 15 minutes. But you got to gauge that based off of how thawed out. If it's solid frozen, I would go maybe about 20 minutes. Okay, so let me get them into the oven and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, these have been in the oven for 20 minutes. Very hot. Very, very hot. So you got to be careful because of the steam. Beautiful. Old Bay steamed king crab. Those look so good. Let me get some tongs. I'm going to put these over on the plate. I'll show you the plate in just a minute. I need a bigger plate. We got to let those cool off before I can do much with them. There they are, beautiful. So now what I want to do is I want to take this delicious butter sauce that we have with Old Bay. Just put my camera back around so you can see it. And I'm going to pour this sauce into a bigger bowl. And then I'll use that to put inside of a smaller bowl. This is pretty concentrated with Old Bay, so it's maybe a little too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some butter Some more butter. Can't have enough butter. I'm going to soften that in the microwave, and I'll be right back. Okay, to go with our Old Bay Alaskan king crab legs, I made some sweet potatoes. So these are just monster-sized sweet potatoes. I just cleaned them and then wrapped them in some aluminum foil. Yeah, they take up the whole plate. They're so large. So now I cooked them in the oven for an hour and a half. So now I just want to score them like that. And put some butter. Let that melt into the hot sweet potato. This is so delicious. I know it's a lot of butter. I like butter. But to add to that, I'm going to take some brown sugar. And that's what our side is going to be for this dinner. Sweet potatoes with brown sugar and butter. So I melted some butter for some dipping sauce. And I'm going to take a small amount of the sauce that was left over from the steamed crab and mix that with the butter. Because it's pretty strong. You don't want too much. For me, I like a little bit more. And that's becoming our dipping sauce. Now, one more thing that I like to do is to take some lemon. I cut it in half. I want to squeeze that into my butter sauce that I dip my crab into. Karen, you want some?
Yes. Thank you. Lots of lemon.
Lots of lemon?
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this video and you try this. Please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.